this year. And by combining decades of payments expertise and automation technology, we're thrilled to bring to market an entirely new approach to accounts payable and accounts receivable workflows. Fair warning, you're gonna have a really hard time going back to your office and watching your teams process invoices out of an email inbox. Let's get started. We begin on the Epay Manager broker home screen. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the Payables tab. This is where invoices are categorized by status. We'll begin with pending invoices. Contrary to email-based invoicing workflows, Epay leverages the data from your TMS, and when a load is marked delivered in your system, it proactively creates the carrier invoice. As we look into one of these invoices, we can see all of the information that's provided prior to any action taken by the carrier. With Epay, carriers also have their account, and as the load is put in pending invoice status, the carrier is being solicited to upload their delivery docs. Let's switch over to a carrier's account, and let's upload one of these invoices for payment. Jason, can you please upload the delivery docs? This is a carrier invoice submission process. The delivery docs are uploaded. The carrier can choose their payment terms, either standard or quick pay. But the biggest feature I want you to notice is that the carrier can accept or dispute the amount of the invoice. In this case, the carrier will accept this invoice, and the carrier invoice submission is complete. Let's switch back to the broker view. This is where your team's workflow traditionally begins. Jason, can you process an invoice for payment for us?
Sure. The carrier's already accepted the rate. All the documents check out. I can approve this and release the payment. Done.
That's pretty incredible, right? That's what we call the concept of audit-proof invoicing. Because not only has the carrier already accepted the rate that came from your TMS, but the system has already checked that all of the documents are there and that there are no issues with those documents. Well, how'd that happen? With Epay's AI-driven NLP automation, all the documents are reviewed for extreme accuracy. And you can see that listed here in the document insights. When all the checks are there, there's no need for manual review. This is what allows your teams to process invoices far more quickly. Let's get into that NLP a little more. This is where the magic really happens. Take a look at the left-hand side. You'll see that the NLP checks everything from receiver signatures, that the documents are classified correctly, that there's no damages, OS&D. There's 145 of these attributes running simultaneously during the review process. And it's what's allowed Jason to process this invoice so quickly. But we understand not all invoices are this easy, and sometimes there are disputes. So how does Epay handle disputes? Well, it allows brokers to assign customizable business rules and assign acceptance tolerances to a variety of dispute types. Things like drayage, layover, lumpers, detention. And once you assign these business rules, not only does the automation allow you to quickly approve approved invoices, but a portion of your disputed ones as well. Jason, can you show us a disputed invoice? Let's go into the carrier's account yet again. We'll open up a carrier invoice, but instead of a $100 lumper, the carrier wants $125. The carrier can change the fee. Then they can leave a note for the broker as to why they're disputing the rate. Carrier will then submit this dispute, and Epay will be able to resolve on the broker's side. Jason, will you show us how to resolve one of these disputes?
Sure. When the carrier submits a dispute, the broker is notified, so we're switching back to the broker's view, and the assigned user at that brokerage is notified and can view the details by clicking in to this icon. So in this case, due to the tolerances that we set earlier, the dispute is automatically resolved, so we've okayed the additional $25. But if we weren't setting those tolerances and we wanted to see the impact, we can actually see the change to both the customer rate and the carrier rate and how that affects the profit loss. So in this case, we've actually set another rule to automatically apply the same amount to my customer bill. The net result is that as I'm catching disputes earlier, I'm not only paying my carrier accurately and on time and removing the potential for new charges that surprise me down the road that I may not be able to bill my customer for, but I've also prepared my customer invoice automatically through those rules, and by catching it earlier, I can invoice it for approach.
And so when the carrier invoice is sent for payment, your customer invoice can be billed as well. This is how that your AP and your AR workflows are truly centralized, and Epay can help you streamline your back office. There's so much more we'd like to show you. Please come by our booth. But remember, when you go back to your office and you're watching your teams process invoices, and they've got their email open and they're checking against different systems, remember to give us a call so we can help you make your back office better.